What's going on here, guys? So I worked really hard to get the system in tune with 2 coils, and I'll just flip the camera and show you what's going on. So I did. A few people were saying to really try and get 2 coils in tune, and I was able to. So now the output is about 2 or 3 amps, but our voltage doubled, and all I did was put the 2 receiver coils in parallel, and for some reason it doubled our voltage. I thought it would double our current, but something interesting happened and it doubled our voltage. I'm not sure why. So we'll take a reading off the combined output from the receiver coils. And keep in mind the receiver coils are wireless. They're in a separate electrical system from the transmitter. And once you earth ground it, you have that potential of energy. I've had this system running now for 4 days. No external input. Once it was started, it kept itself going. The radiant energy effects are phenomenal. I showed that in my last videos. Almost to the point where it doesn't make sense. And I've also got bad allergies, so like I'm sorry if my voice sounds crappy all the time, but I've got like bad allergies all the time. Usually wake up with them. So we'll do a reading on the current. We just have to move the meter a little bit, or the probes. I'll just lay the probes like right here. Well, it doesn't fight me. And I don't do any cuts in the video, nothing. There's no AC in this part of my room. Like, the board is completely self-sustaining, so. And it's important to know if you touch any wire, you'll receive a nasty shock. Even non-high voltage wires. So, our output from the combined receiver coils is almost 2 amps. And keep in mind, that's dead short-circuited. Almost 2 amps, and our input hardly goes up when it's short-circuited. It'll only go up by about 2 watts. And if I lock the current, it wouldn't go up at all. So we're at 1.7 amps short-circuit current. Our input is only 0.22 amps at 65 volts. This is what feeds the transmitter, the DC board. Input battery, 0 to 120 volt DC board, so I can tune the transmitter. I can adjust the voltage of the current, so I have fine control over the transmitter. Energizes 2 separate wireless receiver coils, and the way you go about earth grounding them is where your extra power comes from. I earth ground mine through a capacitor. I have to experiment with different values. It's earth grounded through an L2 series capacitor to avoid detuning. The other one, same thing, earth grounded through a capacitor, except it doesn't go to the same ground line because that would impede its ability to generate power. Instead, you have to have a separate earth ground, and it goes to the negative of the transmitter. And it's still considered a separate electrical system because the primary coil is what's outputting the power, and that's not connected to the secondary in any way. So our dead short circuit current, 1.73 amps. We'll do a voltage reading. Like 50 or something volts, it varies. Yeah, right now it's about 40. If I were to really crank that, it would get very high, very dangerous. So that's what it's at. I like to run it in medium power mode when it's self-sustaining. So we got about 1.7 amps at 36.7 volts going into the solar charge controller. Now I just have to connect the solar charge controller. So those leads were coming off the coil. Now I'll just connect the solar charge controller back up. So, as you see, the solar panel symbol isn't flowing because we didn't hook it up. And I hook it back up. And now we have the picture of the solar panel flowing. So it's charging again. I'll show you a voltage reading on the battery. I mean, not the battery, the supercap. Guys, I'm telling you, I cannot stop calling these things batteries. It's so annoying. So here's our voltage. It never drops. Always stays charged. This thing's been going for 4 days. And I calculated it. Basically what happens is, I think these are 6 or 7 amp hours each, and they're all in parallel. And that would only run the system for about one full day, 24 hours, at the draw I have on it. And the system already surpassed that. It'll never go below 13 volts. And this is the weird, like, radiant energy effects I don't understand. There's certain components on the board that seem to, like, duplicate the energy, which is really mind-bending. Like, I can just put this light right here, and look how bright that gets. And when that occurs, there's no form of impedance on the transmitter source at all. It's even present in the meter, which is bizarre. The radiant energy is heavily present in the batteries. I mean the supercaps. Jesus. If I got a fluorescent tube, this is where it gets very strange. Watch this. How is there that much radiant energy present in the supercap? It's like what's happening is the devices are like, every part of the board is like re-emitting the energy. It's so weird. It's even... It's like bizarre, dude. It's almost like alien technology. Like, look at that. When I have this thing really cranked, you can really see that effect. It's like we created a wireless free energy field, but the term free energy is so loaded. It's a self-sustaining energy field. So, and I'll just show you how far that range extends. Here we're in the hallway now. So it can go through walls no problem. It's active on most metal components in my house, the field. Very interesting. We'll see if it's present in the sink. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, depending on how you ground it. It's present there, very slight, so. Next, I will run a 200 watt load from the inverter and demonstrate the self-recharging effect. And keep in mind, I still didn't work out the fine details of that part of the circuit. If this load were to be left on too long, it would use all the power in the system and kill it to the point where it couldn't self-recharge. So there has to be a voltage cutoff in here or some type of timer circuit. And while that's going, we still have wireless power. Not really impeded at all, because we're using the power the correct way. And it tries to fight it pretty hard when the load runs. So the system does try and self-recharge itself. When the load runs, it tries to fight it almost, which is interesting. And if we got the correct size load, it would probably run. Like, you could charge a phone here, no problem, like a smartphone, and the device would still recharge itself. I'm really pushing it here. If I wanted to output enough power to run that light while self-recharging, I'd have to probably run this thing at like 300 or 400 volts DC on the input. And I'm going to have to make better transmitters. I'm thinking a very high Q coil, maybe like 16 or 14 gauge wire. That might help, because it's the Q factor that increases all these crazy radiant energy effects. And yeah, so I'll switch this load off. Like, we can pretty much generate heat and light and work for very cheaply. Once the system is set up, you can run large loads for long periods of time. This will run for about 30 minutes. So I'll shut it off and we'll watch the system recharge. And it recharges. Also shut the inverter off. It'll recharge even quicker. So that's that. And these are 12 volt super caps. Their max charge is 13.5. We never seem to drop below 13 volts unless I were to leave the 200 watt load on indefinitely, then I would drag the system down and kill it. It's almost a finished refined product, and to sum it up, here's the input supercap. Powers the DC boost board to give us fine control over the transmitter's voltage and current levels. And from that, we have 2 receiver coils. Their outputs are combined, goes to the charge controller, so the solar charge controller cannot overcharge the other caps, the other super caps that are in parallel, that run the inverter, which then runs your heavy loads. And the system seems to recharge itself rather rapidly. Getting 2 receiver coils up, I thought it wouldn't really make much of a difference, but once they were fine-tuned and I experimented with grounding, it did make a huge difference. So thank you to those who suggested it. Very good work. A very good idea. So this system is portable the way it is, but the only issue is, as you see that green wire back here, the only issue is the system gets a huge gain in power once you heavily earth ground part of it. So I'm going to try and move the system and demonstrate its ability to produce power, and we're still recharging, as you see. So I'm going to move this probably. I don't want to cut the video, but I have to, because I can't film and move this thing one-handed. It sits on like a 3 feet by 3 feet board, and I just screwed in these wood handles to move it. And as you see, there's nothing under the desk. There's no AC here anymore. The system is self-sustaining. There's no form of AC here at all. That is a dead electrical outlet. I'll demonstrate that. I will get my glue gun, which, as we see, the red light is on. I'd rather do it with a light, but I don't have an easy to grab light. So I will plug the glue gun into the outlet, because this is a dead outlet. The only power in my room comes from one outlet, and it branches out to other parts of my room via an extension cord. So this is a dead outlet. This is an old farmhouse. Had to do a lot of rewiring. Only one outlet in my room works, and it's over there behind my cat. So as you see, the switch is on. Glue gun won't turn on because that's a dead outlet. We'll try the lower one. Still nothing. It's a dead outlet. So I'll plug this in over here, and we'll see that it comes on again. And as you see, the light is on. So I just showed you that outlet was dead. So I'm going to pause the video, set this thing up in my kitchen, and demonstrate it. Alright, we're back. So I set the device up in my kitchen. There's obviously no forms of AC in any way here. We'll completely walk around it. That's my long earth wire that I didn't connect yet to anything. So we're fully walking around the device. I will even run a broom around it so you can see there's no like hidden invisible wires anywhere. So as you see, that's just the earth ground wire. There's no hidden wires anywhere. The board is a little heavy, so there's no like micro thin wires anywhere feeding the device. I will try and move it on camera. The device is on, so as you see, the board can move fully. I can move it wherever I want. I really would need another person on the other side to pick it up with me. It is heavy, so it is on. And once I earth ground this wire to a very good earth ground, the system will get a very significant gain in power and start recharging itself. So I'll connect this to my grounded oven right here, and hopefully that's enough. Now the system should recharge itself in theory. It looks like part of the wire got stuck. Of course it did. Alright, so the system's on. We are recharging. System is consuming 12.36 watts at 13 volts. Never drops below that. Got the wireless light. Now that I earth grounded the system to the stove, the radiant energy will probably be present in the stove. As you can see, it's present in the stove. So, I'm not sure how good of an earth grounding that is, but it's probably good enough. Fluorescent tube to see that the system is operating. The radiant energy is still present in a lot of the components. Very interesting. Oh, it's really bright here. Like, I've never seen the effect where the radiant energy can almost duplicate itself in any of the components. I'm going to try and lay this here for you to see it fully, how strange that effect is. And the more you touch it, the more it's visible. How weird is that? It's like the whole board is energized with a type of wireless field that seems to be self-sustaining. Whoops. And yeah, we'll turn the load on again. Well, first I want to hook up the meter and set it to DC voltage so we can watch the system recharge itself. I will run my 200 watt load and show you. Just got to bear with me a little bit because I'm doing everything one-handed. And I just woke up and I've got horrible allergies. So I always sound out of breath and my nose is stuffy. So we hooked up our meter. See if I can get this little flap deployed on it. A little stand. So here we are. And depending on how heavy that earth ground is, the system will either recharge itself or slowly discharge itself. Okay, so I'm going to try running the 100 watt load. And we'll see what happens. 100 watt load is lit. Giving off real light and heat, like you can feel that. Wow. I mean, that's a 200 watt load, not 100. Full intensity. Lighten up the whole kitchen from that board. And you know, if I was doing that with batteries, that would be very difficult to do. I actually have a battery I'll demonstrate and show to you versus the super cap. So here's a traditional battery. It's very heavy compared to the super caps. And it's like I have the sun in my kitchen right down there. So, as you see, heavy, doesn't move very well. Super cap, very light. Like, look at this. I can push it around, I can move it. And me doing this is somehow dimming that bulb a little, which is very odd. Super caps are very light. I can push it around, move it. This battery's heavy. A lot more dense. So, we're not using him, he's out of the picture. I'll shut the load off. We will watch it recharge itself. And the floor is starting to smoke a little here. And it is recharging itself. 13 volts slash 13.5 is full for the super cap. We'll sit here a bit, we'll watch it. I already make long videos detailing everything, why not? We'll watch it recharge itself. It is going up. As you see, it is going up. 9.4. I know a lot of people probably don't want to watch a really long video. I'm gonna have to make like graphs and charts of how long it can run the load, how quick it recharges itself. Very detailed scientific method graphs. I just work full-time, over full-time sometimes. It's very hard to do all these things and balance time with work, life, family, and my side business. I come home half the time and I just pass out. But yeah, no, I have a career job, work over full-time. The place, nobody wants to work anymore. So, I mean, it's kind of good for me. I just keep showing up every day and I keep, boom, getting promoted. But, that's the system. It's just tough to keep balancing everything, work, life, family, engineering, making the board better. I'm telling you, man, I feel like a zombie on my days off. But, this thing keeps recharging itself. I'd like to set it up somewhere else now. I'm thinking maybe outside. This video has gone on long enough. I'm going to keep it under 30. I'm going to set it up outside and figure out something to connect it to. Probably an earth pipe or a rod in the ground. Just the things we do for a video. And it is still recharging. So, I've actually never done this test yet, and I'm curious to try with this board. So, if I trip going down with the stairs with this thing, I'll be really upset. So, I'm going to pause the video again, set it up outside in the middle of my field. Well, I got to find an earth ground spot. I have a few old ones set up. So, I'll pause it and set it up there. Alright, we're coming back outside now. I set it up at a distant point. Had to go back in to grab some things. These are my chickens. Hello, birdie. So, we'll go back over to my old workout spot. So, this was an old pull-up bar that's earth grounded. It's in the earth, so it's grounded. This is my old bench press. I set the device up out here. It was heavy and annoying to move it out here. So I'll switch it on. We're at 13 volts. It's now on. That bulb was lit, but you can't even tell because it's so bright out here. Now I have to earth ground it in a special spot. Otherwise we won't get excess power. So I'm going to earth ground this to up here. But a pull-up bar, I don't think that'll reach unless I move it. Yeah, so I'm going to have to move the board, put it on the ground here, move some of these plants out of the way. But, yeah, I'm going to have to move the board again to down here. That's annoying. So I'm going to have to pause the video again. Okay, we are back set up. I earth grounded it into my old pull-up bar up here. The system is on. As you see, it's connected to an earth ground here. I'm touching this and this and not getting shocked. There's nothing weird going on. It's not like some type of hidden AC anywhere. So that's connected to you. The system is set up. It's completely portable. I hooked up my portable oscilloscope to it. Pull out my voltmeter here. So like I said before, because we're earth grounded into this grounded pull-up bar, the radiant energy will be phenomenal out here. Like, look at that. It's almost like the Tesla stout copper bars experiment, where short circuit metal bars would produce power between a load that's hung between them. And my allergies are flaring up bad out here. So, there's no way in hell any of this could be faked. I'm in the middle of my farm, No AC out here whatsoever except for the AC we generate from that board. We'll do a quick panorama. We're in the middle of my yard. There's my work shed way over there. Again, that's an isolated work shed that's solar powered. No mains are over there. We're completely separated from mains. We'll do a quick walk around. And I really wish I had another person here to help me. All my friends are too busy working as well. So here's what the oscilloscope shows. We're getting some kind of like trumpet waves coming off the device. I'm not exactly sure why. At a frequency of 2.5 megahertz, it is 2.5. Touching the scope will detune it and do weird things. But anyway, the system is recharging itself again. And it does consume a little bit more power when the board is this so close to the ground. So again, I'll turn it on. We have real power out here, and this bulb looks kind of dull being outside. So we got that, and that bulb looks so dull being outside. We still have the phenomenal radiant energy effects on this piece of metal that we earth grounded to, my pull-up bar. This is what the light looks like. So, it's a renewable energy system. And I detail in my PDF fully how to make it. And if I can get in good contact with the metal, avoid the rust, it would light, you'd see it lighting. There we go. So, that's really hard for the skeptics to disprove. I'm a real scientific researcher. I've spent about 5 years doing this stuff. Went over all the Don Smith material, well, most of it, the stuff we have access to. A lot of the Tesla stuff. Now, I'm no genius by any means, but when I want to do something, like I'm going to put my mind to it and as much effort as I can to figure it out. And with a little bit of common sense. And like this shit works, folks. So, absolutely incredible. There's no reason why we can't have self-sustaining wireless power systems that are portable and can do incredible things. And yeah, that's how it looks. It's running. I wouldn't be able to run a 200 watt bulb like that from batteries, so. Bring my foot all the way around. There's nothing, there's no way in hell this could be faked in any way. I think I see smoke down here from the load. Yeah, it's a 200 watt load. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, that bulb is hot. 200 watt. So and again, the system will recharge itself. As you see, the bars going up. The solar charge controller thinks that the receiver coil is a solar panel, but hey, it works all the same. And it will say 12.9 probably in a minute or two. Doing this as a long video diary documentation series of the device. It should say 12.9 any moment. We did run that load for a little bit of an extended period, so probably why it's taking a little bit to kick on. Yep, 12.9. It was flickering. There we go. See, it's recharging. And it will say 13 volts soon. So, that's it right here. That's the board. Earth grounded to my pull-up bar. And as you see, the radiant energy is present even in the most strangest of materials. Like, it's even present in the earth. If I were to do this test at night, which I should, but I work nights, so I'm gonna have to do it on a day off. I work till about midnight, so I'm gonna have to demonstrate that. I bet you, even because it's bright out here right now, like you can't see very well, but I bet if I touch this light to the ground, it's probably lighting up dimly. Put this thing in the earth, it'll light up. See if I can show this. There's no really good bare spots. That light is dimly lit just by touching the dirt. And the device is on. Wonder if it lights up on my bench press. Can't really tell, it's too bright. Yeah, it's way too bright out here to tell. This video is gonna go on long because it is a video documentary of like a diary of me doing experiments with the device. I'll turn this meter on. It shows voltage per square meter, radiation, magnetic flux, all that sort of thing. As you see, we're locked steady at 12.9. We passed 12.8. It'll say 13 soon. So, here's where the flux is the most concentrated. In theory, any device we put within this field will generate that amount of voltage per square meter. So there's 200 volts per square meter near the inverter. $80 per square meter here. Even when this device is on, the ground kicks off power too, which is crazy. So, put this on our metal bar here, and look at the flux within our metal bar. Certain spots it spikes. Now, could you imagine what this thing could do if we built it 10 times that size? It could probably run a village indefinitely with self-sustainability. Oh yeah, we're getting a lot of flux right here. So, we're almost at 13. There's a giant spider just hanging out. That's funny. But yeah, so we're almost at 13. I'll turn the device on again. Load comes on, no problem. 200 watts. Looks kind of puny and pathetic out here with how bright it is outside. So that's going. And we still will get the weird radiant energy effects when I hold the light to the bar here. And there we go. And there's a cloud moving in the way, so we should see it easier. How weird is that, folks? This is true radiant energy harvesting. The secrets have been cracked. We are now at a point in this world where people can build these self-sustaining devices. We're in an exciting time. All this new energy technology that's coming out. And I have trouble holding it there because of the because it's starting to bend on me. I have to unbend it. So that lights up over there, very interesting. We're still running our 200 watt load. There's no way you could do that with batteries. So this video is a diary that basically also serves to shut the Skeptics up. And I'll shut the load off. System will begin to recharge itself. And I hate how noisy that inverter is. I already ordered a different one. They claim it's silent, but we'll see. And yeah, already at 12.8. So that's that. I think the final board will be bigger. The wiring will be more cleaned up. There'll be a solar panel on it too, in case if the system ever ran itself down so much. Because if you were to run this 100 watt load, or the 200 watt load, for a long period, you would bring the charge of the system down so low it couldn't self-sustain itself again. I have to build in some kind of voltage cutoff. Should be simple in theory, but I gotta end the video here. I got a lot of shit to do, gotta go to work later. So again, we'll do a quick walk around, kind of a yard tour. As you see, this just connects up to here. I'll remove that and I'll try and drag the system. So again, that's what we were connected to. You can see where this goes clearly. No one can claim anything is faked. I've had friends come over, family, and this wire just gave me a nasty shock. I've had a lot of people witness it. Fellow researchers have witnessed it. And the system might not be self-recharging itself now that I disconnected this wire. So that's that. And in theory, if you ran a long enough earth wire along the surface of the earth, its capacitance with the earth would allow it to recharge itself, the device, in theory. So that's that. I'm gonna have to move this thing inside now. We'll do a quick yard tour. That's my fluorescent tube that you couldn't even see ignite out here because it's so bright. There's no form of AC out here whatsoever. There's the pull-up bar. Here's the device. And I'll try and drag it. I'm going to disconnect the earth wire here. I'll move this out of the way. And I'm going to drag the device backwards. I also have to disconnect my oscilloscope. I'm going to try and move. Drag. So as you see, the device is fully portable. No one can claim anything that it's faked somehow. The device is fully portable. This will shut any of the skeptics up. Sometimes skeptics really irritate me. As you see, we're moving it, we're dragging it. Where's my hidden wires? Oh wait, there are none. And I can't keep dragging that because there's a hill here. Here's my earth wire. Sitting over there. As you see, I dragged the board about 4 feet. Right in the open of my yard. The system is still on. Still recharging even without the earth connection, but it'll probably recharge very slow or not at all. Our power consumption did drop to 13 rather than 15. So, and as you see, because we disconnected that earth connection from the metal here, the radiant energy light will probably not light up when I touch it to the metal here. As you see, it won't. So that's that. And the system is still on, as you can see. Oh yeah, we're still on. So, it's kind of like an earth energy harvesting device. So, took a little bit of time to figure out how to make the energy usable, but that's how it is. You have to send it through a conversion stage, but that's that. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to this video or my channel, because this is real electrical research here that will basically, hopefully one day, revolutionize the world and make lives better for people all across the world. We're in a very interesting time, and as you see, I'm walking around this device, dragging my foot. There's no possible way I could have hidden wires anywhere. Stick in the way, and I almost tripped. So that's that. Pretty cool, huh? This video's gone on way too long. So again, thank you to everyone who subscribes to the Patreon. Feel free to like, support. I would like to build this system a lot bigger, see what it can really do. I want to see how big this thing can get. It's the Q factor where a lot of the craziness comes from. So yeah, feel free to like, subscribe, and if you feel like it, donate to the Patreon or join the Patreon, get the PDF. I might reduce the price from 15 bucks to 10. Yeah, so that's it. That's the device. Pretty cool, huh? So that's that. Now I gotta bring it back inside. And thank you, everyone.